Hey kids, my email is blowing up, and I really appreciate the gestures of support and offers of help and just generally the kind words from people. It really means a lot to me. And I want to reassure the people that are afraid I'm going to eat a bullet that that's not going to happen. Because if I blow my brains out, I'm not getting my security deposit back. So let me just give you an idea of what's going on. And if this is an overshare that some people get vicarious pleasure from, that's fine. It's like this. First of all, my great uncle just recently died. He was 95 years old, and he was being taken care of by his granddaughter. They were doing a great job of it. But you know, when someone reaches the point where their bodily functions are not functioning right, you need special care. So they had to put him in a nursing home. Now, he was a World War II combat veteran. He was a veteran of the Battle of the Bulge. But he couldn't get directly into the VA nursing home. And he died waiting. And I didn't get a chance to go down and see him. So that was something that already would have put me down a bit. You know, because my parents are in their 70s, and so this is like a coming attraction. And another thing you should know is I have seasonal affective disorder. And that basically means, you know how you feel malaise during the winter because the days are short and you can't go out, and it's like that. Just on steroids. And I didn't always have it, but I do now. And this year was particularly bad. And not only was it particularly bad, it just wouldn't let go. You know, I try to maintain a routine, go to the gym, bike, go to work, and be productive, and it was just all unraveling. I just couldn't get on track. And in fact, I was trying to go to the gym first thing in the morning because, you know, if I wait until after work, I get there and it's crowded and there's CrossFit people doing inexplicable things, and there's guys text message, and we'll talk about text messaging in a bit. Between sets, and what could be a 45-minute workout ends up taking an hour and a half, and that's just really frustrating. And so in addition to that, there's been changes at work in which things have become increasingly capricious and arbitrary. And when there's this huge disconnect between your outlay of effort and actual results, it's very frustrating. And it's very frustrating when you're running in circles, and you're running in circles in this enormous building, old building with hard tile floors. And I mention that because I broke my foot in 2012. It was the third time that I got hit by a car. And I ended up with deep through the fat lacerations. I had a hematoma, bruised liver, and I broke my calcaneus, the heel bone. But it's been fine. But recently, walking around wearing dress shoes on these hard floors has been excruciating. And so that's not putting me in the best of moods, especially when I'm being sent on wild goose chases. And here's something that was typical. I was helping out at an event, and this isn't even my job. I was just volunteering. I was just trying to be useful. And I get sent down to the auditorium, which is a walk of half a city block, just to ask someone if they need something. So I walk in there, and the woman that I was talking to, she was listening to some speaker practices bit. And I lean over her quietly, conspiratorial, and say, "Do you need it?" And she goes, "Shh!" Finger in front of her mouth, "Shh!" It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. So I sort of hang back, wait. "No, really, do you need, shh!" I turn around and I walk out. Luckily, you know, I didn't have anything to do. I was just doing due diligence. I was trying to see if she needed any help. And so, I mean, it's symptomatic of me just feeling really, really underappreciated. But, you know, sometimes feeling unappreciated is a form of selfishness. Because sometimes you feel like you're not needed because you're not. But anyway, that's the state of mind that I got myself into. And in addition to that, there is a girl I knew, a woman I knew, Very pretty, very intelligent, very personable, charming, funny, everything you could ever want. Way too young for me, which is fine. It wasn't that kind of relationship because anything else would have been perversion. But it was nice to have someone to do things with and for, an activity partner. Because despite claims of rampant misogyny, I'm a guy. I like doing things with and for women. That little bit of approval is a kind of a endorphin rush. I mean, we're just all rats in the Skinner box pressing the bar. And so I walked to the National Gallery from work, and my foot is already killing me because I wanted to take her to see one of the Vermeers there, The Girl in the Red Hat. And this is an expedition that I had asked women I actually work with, but it always fell through. Because as you know, you never see me because apparently I'm covered in shit and flies. Anyway, I get to the National Gallery, and I'm feeling out of sorts already. Feeling unappreciated. I'm physically in pain. And I take a picture of the Vermeer and send it to her with a little text, trying to initiate a little conversation. Now, you should know I have a really bad, not a track record, but experiences with text messaging. For instance, I had this girlfriend who lived in Richmond, which from Washington is about an hour and a half's drive, if you're lucky. And I would go down there on the weekends, and we'd have a great time. We would wine and dine and do things and talk and laugh and fuck. And I'd get back in the car, and I'd be an hour out, bing, text message. And it wasn't just because I was driving that I was annoyed. She would do this as soon as I got back. She wanted to have relationship critical discussions via text messaging. And it's frustrating because even if you're a verbally adept guy such as myself, the actual mechanism is annoying. It's just a recipe for miscommunication. I kind of think maybe that's why she did it. And that's not the only bad experience I had with text. And everyone knows that once you start going, you're going to say things in text and maybe an email that you would never say to someone's face. That's just the way that it works because there's so little feedback. It's almost like you have to kind of provoke a response. So anyway, I text this woman the picture of the girl in the red hat. And, I know she's busy. She's doing things. She doesn't owe me anything. But, I'm feeling unappreciated. And she's not properly responsive to suit my tastes. And I really tried to fight it. I tried to fight it for the next couple of days, but I was just in this sort of self-pity spiral for a number of reasons. It's never one reason. It's always a matrix of reasons. And so, let's see, I was in the National Gallery on a Wednesday, and I wasn't doing much of anything except simmering. But I had to take the next 2 days off because my foot hurt so badly I literally couldn't walk on it. And that freed up a lot of time for me to be an asshole. And I was. Very, very, very bad. Assholishness that started in text messages and spilled out in email. And of course, you're going to say things in that medium that you would never say to someone's face. And it's irreparable now. I could send flowers. It isn't going to help. I was upset about all these other things, and I picked the softest target I could. And so after that, I was sick, literally sick. I had sinusitis. And I spent a couple of days at home with the blinds drawn, trying to figure out how my head got so far up my ass and why I would fuck things up with the nicest person I knew. And I could only think that it was some sort of self-punishment, just convincing myself that I can't have nice things. And I mean, that's not central, but it's kind of symptomatic and tragic. And it was like the final straw at which I said, you truly have to pull your head out of your ass. One thing I try to think of, and I used it in this placeholder video I just had to put up, which is you can't control events. You can't control people. All you can control is your reaction to them. And another thing I think about is the phrase, and I think this is derived from Buddhism, which is being good is the practice of will. I mean, it's not like it's a personal motto, but if I did get a tattoo on my arm, it'd be that. And I failed. I failed utterly at work, in relationships, with acquaintances, and especially in the 2.5 pounds of damp meat between my ears. And what it comes down to is a sense of self-pity. You're not appreciated, you're not getting enough from other people. It's a sense of entitlement. And then it occurred to me, these I'm a victim people, this must be what they feel like all the time. It's fucking unbearable. And so what can I do? Just gotta get up in the morning, go to the gym, bike into work, try to make sense of things there. Although it's complicated by the fact that it's 11:30 at night and I haven't folded my laundry yet. It's been that kind of a day. But you just gotta pick yourself up. Now, as far as this YouTube DMCA thing, well, I'm going to be working on it behind the scenes. A lot of people sent me the link to the Bible Reloaded, Strike How We Got Our Groove Back. So it seems as though the Christianos DMCA is the easier one to deal with. As far as Karen Stolznow goes, look, Karen Stolznow is the one who started all this off. I got that DMCA notice on March 26th. I was blindsided. I was down in North Carolina. I couldn't do anything except post a vertical video, for fuck's sake. And I got that bullshit email from Baxter. They didn't approach me first. They decided to do damage and then want to talk reasonably. And not to put too fine a point on it, but they're both going to get screwed like a manila hooker 20 minutes into shore leave. You can count on that. And as far as the other little copyrights and notices, there's some videos that I can just take down. You know, I had ones where I was playing my Victrola, and who knew, some asshole thinks he's got the copyright on the 78 I was playing. As far as Last Kind Word Blues, I've approached the company. I will pay a licensing fee for using that little snippet. And if not, I'll just start doing a new set of videos with different sounds. It's all I can do. I'll comb through my catalog, see what's salvageable, and see what content I could put up that isn't going to get a DMCA strike. But that's the problem. At this point, it's not going to take a lot. The accusation is enough with YouTube. I could put up a black square that's 1280 by 720, and some asshole is going to say it violates their copyright. Hey, look, there's nothing that can't be fixed, except when I'm an asshole. And so I'm going to work on this and see what I can salvage. Again, I just want to say I really appreciate all the emails and comments and suggestions and offers of help and everything that you've been sending me. It really means a lot to me, especially in these dark times when my head is fully inserted up my sphincter. Thanks, folks. I'll be seeing you.